Hello, and welcome to first our first hybrid concept winner video. Um, First I want to say thank you to the participants and thank you to the judges. Um, I don't want to delay this any further. So, um, this is one of our judges' entries, so he didn't get a placing, but he's gonna get mentioned. Ignionyx, I believe it's pronounced. Fireclaw. I like how he put the meaning. It's Spinonyx and Pyroraptor. Definite strike, lethal wound, distracting impact, and a new move, raking pounce, deal 2 times damage, distract 50% for 1 turn, remove dodge, delay, and cooldown are both 1. Immune to decelerating, 35k HP, 1450 attack, 130 speed, 0% armor, and 10% crit. The Fisher DNA in this hybrid really comes to shine. With feathers similar to a penguin's and fin-like sails, the swift aquatic predator is capable of taking down anything that swims. And there's a picture. Really colorful. I like the drawing. I really do. I like the claw. I like the detail and overall. One thing about this hybrid is the new move. It sounds really interesting. It'd be kind of like normal rampage and normal pounce. It'd be kind of the same thing, but they just have the distract added to it. But I like that it's raking. I like that it removes dodge, and in a sense cloak, I believe. I also like. This is gonna be extremely biased, but I really like the inclusions of lethal wounds in any of these entries because I really like Bleed's concept in general. So I really like that. That's who our number 3 spot is actually a hybrid with one of the newest creatures, Arctops and Arctoloraptor. So I really like the inclusion of Arctops. I would have never expected it to go with Aloraptor. Its HP is 3,900, almost 1,000. 15k damage, speed 130, defense, I'm guessing you mean armor, it's the same thing, 0% and crit 5%. A few new moves on this one. Cleansing Strike, Revenge, Precise Pounce. With Revenge, it would just have no cooldown. Speed Up Impact, you'll deal 1.5 times damage, speed up 20% for 3 turns, the cooldown is 1, and it has Rending Takedown. Immune to deceleration and immune to distract. This ferocious predator hunts in large packs and hunts down sauropods by stabbing its saber canines. Unlike Smilodon, Arctoloraptor's canines are very sturdy and extremely difficult to break. The pack is led by the alpha pair, and its main food supply is Gemini type. That's funny. I really like the idea that it has an alpha in the group. I wonder how that's determined. Like, is it the horns or the teeth, the claws? I'd want to know how that's determined. That's a really interesting concept. Now for our second place entry, I really like how this is put together. Babatande. It's a hybrid between Carbotoceratops, and Ankylosaurus Gen 2. That's an interesting hybrid. It's got 4,800 health, 105 speed, 60% armor, 1250 damage, and 5% critical. Its moves are superior vulnerability, and it deals 1 times to 900 damage, cleanse distraction. So these are all moves seen before. It's superior vulnerability, dig in, devastation, long protection, swap in headbutt, immune to damage over time, and immune to stuns. If this thing were real, I could see it being a real pain to just get through. Like, the only thing I could see getting through this would be rending, really. It's immune to bleed and shields, maybe, but it would have to have high attack. But, like, this thing is really powerful. With a lot of health to begin, and then the 60% armor stacked on top of it. If this thing were real, it would be a pain to get through. And not to mention, it has swap in headbutt. So, and that bypasses armor. Most of the best creatures in the game have armor. And it has access to moves like Devastation. That does base 2,700 damage. Imagine what's like when that's under Mutual Fury. It doesn't have Mutual Fury, but like if it were the instant in Mutual Fury, and of course it would have to outspeed. But if it could go dig in and then Devastation and probably get a pretty big hit off with Mutual Fury. Overall, I like how adorable but fierce the drawing looks, and I don't think the drawing was his. The drawing was done by somebody else. I think he's in the server. I can't recall. And for a number 1 placing by Dundee, it's Spinogen 2 and Aloraptor, so another Aloraptor hybrid. Okay, I'm gonna read the description. This large raptor is an ultimate mix of raptor and Spinosaur DNA. It measures 9 meters long and eats young bull sharks? That's interesting. Health is 3,700, attack is 1,400, speed 126. It's a lot of speed. Creates 20% chance and armor is 0. It's got minor rending attack. Rending attack now would have been a bit much. It's got lethal wounds, precise pounce, and definite impact. Swap wound. Oh yeah, I love blade abilities. I just love them. I want them to be more relevant. Immune to decel, immune to stuns. Really like the drawing here, and I like how it looks kind of like the field guide in a way, and I can see more. I can see more from what it looks like. I really like the mouth. The face is really cool. It looks Suchomimus-esque. I like the horns in a way. Yeah, that's about the moveset. Minor rending kind of threw me off. I mean, it makes sense, and with rending takedown, this thing would probably be able to destroy everything that exists in the game. There's lethal wounds. So this thing is gonna rely heavily on staying in and trying to reduce damage. It's not going to do much swapping despite having swap and wound, although that is an added benefit if we're being real here, that it would have to stay and deal as much damage as possible, trying to whittle down opponents. It wouldn't have much of a chance if its main tactic was swapping, at least in my opinion. Of course, immune to decel, immune to stuns really helps because, of course, it's just nothing's gonna stop it. Pretty much, I don't want to say that, but like it's just really gonna force its way through without being able to be slowed or stunned. The only thing that I could see could overpower this is something with more speed. And there are a lot of things with more speed that could damage this. I also think that something with shields could probably... Well, no, it's got definite impact. Maybe something with more health, like a tank. And a tank that can deal high damage, probably like Artistus Maxima or Gemini. Of course, they're probably the best to begin with. But yeah, I like the concept of this one, and of course, I really like the other ones too. They were great to see. And oh, there you go. There's great entries overall. And I'm hoping that we can start this series off strong. Next week, so this week there was a theme. So it was mostly inbred hybrids, and if you don't know what that means hybrids are the same, type. Like for example here, they're both carnivorous beasts. Here, same, they were carnivorous beasts. Most of them were carnivorous beasts. But yeah, I'm hoping that we can start this series off strong, and next week's theme will probably be something along the lines of including epics that I choose. So, like, for example, I'm gonna choose, say, Kentrosaurus or Pyroraptor. You would have to either make a hybrid out of both of those, or one. But it would have to include one of those creatures somehow. That's probably what I'm gonna do. Anyway, great entries, and I hope that we can continue this series and keep it strong. And I'm gonna end it off with this adorable turtle. Goodbye.